You may have been threading needles for years, but chances are you still don't know these clever little tricks. Hi everyone, it's Nancy. You know, threading a needle used to be one of those tiny things that could test my patience more than anything else. Today, I'll show you a few clever time-tested tricks that make threading a needle quick, simple, and even a little fun. Let's start with one of my favorite tricks, threading a needle with nothing more than a toothbrush. It might sound strange at first, but it works beautifully. If you've ever struggled to get the thread through that tiny hole, this method will save you so much time and frustration. Here's how to do it. Grab an old toothbrush that still has firm bristles, not too soft, not too worn out. Lay the thread flat across the bristles, holding it in place with one hand. Then take your needle and press the eye of it gently down against the thread, right into the toothbrush bristles. You don't have to force it, just a gentle push is enough. The bristles act like hundreds of little fingers guiding the thread through the hole. When you lift the needle back up, you'll notice the thread is already sticking through the eye. Just pull it all the way and you're done. Besides regular needles, this method also works perfectly with those tiny-eyed needles. It's incredibly handy. It's a clever little trick, especially for anyone who struggles to see small details. My grandmother used to say, "Why fight the thread when you can let something else do the work?" She was right. With this method, even if your eyesight isn't what it used to be, you can still thread a needle in seconds. No frustration, no squinting, no wasted time. Now let's move on to another surprisingly simple way to thread a needle using just the palm of your hand. I know it sounds almost unbelievable, but this method works like magic once you get the hang of it. Here's how it goes. Lay the thread flat across your palm, making sure it stays nice and still. Then take your needle and gently rub the eye of the needle back and forth across the thread. Don't press too hard, just let the needle glide naturally over the surface. After a few quick strokes, you'll notice something amazing. The thread will start to slip right through the eye all by itself. Just like that, your needle is threaded. Many people say this method only works with regular needles. So now, I'm going to try it with one that has a much smaller eye to show you the result. Wow! Unbelievable, isn't it? The thread slipped right through the needle's eye in just a few seconds. Quick, easy, and especially effective if your hands are steady and the thread isn't too thick. Here's another clever method, threading a needle with a simple broom bristle. This trick is especially helpful for anyone who struggles with eyesight or shaky hands. And the best part is you can make it right at home with just a few everyday items. Start by finding a clean broom, preferably one with plastic or nylon bristles. Cut off one or two of the thin bristles and fold them in half so the ends meet and form a tiny loop in the middle. Now grab two small coins. Place the folded bristle between them so the loop sticks out just a little, and use a piece of tape to secure everything tightly together. What you've made is a tiny threading tool that you can use over and over again. To use it first, insert the looped end of the bristle through the needle's eye. Then thread your sewing thread through that loop. Once it's in, simply pull the bristle back out and the thread will slide right through the needle effortlessly. No squinting, no frustration, and definitely no broken threads. This is one of those simple old-fashioned tricks that really shows how creative people can be when solving everyday problems. It's reliable, easy to make, and costs absolutely nothing. So next time your needle refuses to cooperate, just remember a single broom bristle might be all you need. This next trick might be the simplest of them all, and it doesn't require any tools or gadgets, just your hands. It's called the two-finger method, and it's perfect for anyone who wants to thread a needle quickly without squinting or struggling. Start by holding the end of your sewing thread between your thumb and index finger. Pinch it gently, leaving only a tiny bit of the thread, about 1/4 of an inch, sticking out between your fingertips. The key here is to keep it steady and flat, not frayed or bent. If the end is fuzzy, just trim it with scissors to make it neat and even. Now take your needle in your other hand and position it so that the eye is facing directly toward the tip of your thread. Instead of trying to push the thread through the needle's eye, you'll do the opposite. Slowly move the needle down toward your fingers as if you're bringing the eye of the needle to meet the thread, not the other way around. With the thread held firmly between your fingers, gently press the needle against the small exposed end of the thread and move it back and forth a few times. Because the thread is tight and steady, a single fiber will naturally slide into the needle's eye. Once you see the thread peek through, just grab it and pull, and you're done. No gadgets, no frustration. Just a clever little trick that turns one of life's tiniest challenges into a moment of quiet satisfaction. And now, for the final method, threading a needle with the help of a plastic bottle cap. Simple, fast, and perfect for anyone who wants to make sewing easier without spending a dime. Here's how to make it. Take an empty plastic bottle and cut off the top part of the cap, just a small slice across the edge so that there's an opening. Then grab a single bristle from a broom or a small piece of thin wire if you have one. Fold it in half so it forms a small loop at the end. Insert this loop through the slit in the cap and secure it with a bit of tape or glue to hold it firmly in place. Now you've got yourself a reusable needle threader. To use it, simply push the looped end through the eye of the needle, slide your thread through that loop, and pull it back out. The thread will go right through the needle in one smooth motion. It's quick, effortless, and works like a charm every single time. This little trick is great for older adults or anyone who struggles to see those tiny needle holes clearly. My grandmother used to use this trick when her eyesight started fading, and it still works beautifully today. If you've ever struggled with this before, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your own tricks too. Sometimes it's the smallest things like threading a needle that remind us how a little patience and creativity can make life so much easier. These simple tricks aren't just about sewing. They're about finding calm and confidence in the little challenges of everyday life. So next time your eyes get tired or your hands tremble a bit, take a deep breath, remember these tips, and smile because you've got this. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, stay kind to your hands, and I'll see you again soon with another cozy, useful idea to make your day a little brighter.